The Ontario NDP hosted a community media roundtable at its Kingston Road campaign office in Scarborough, featuring Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles and Ontario NDP candidate Fatima Shaban. During the afternoon session, the two leaders answered more than 10 questions from invited journalists in a discussion that lasted approximately 1 hour. Topics covered included healthcare, housing, affordability, and the party's vision for Ontario's future. Responding to questions from the media, Stiles and Shaban emphasized that the ideas and commitments discussed were not merely hopes or aspirations, but part of the Ontario NDP's plan for building a stronger future for residents across the province. Both highlighted healthcare and housing as key priorities, stating that the party is committed to taking more serious and effective action to reduce challenges faced by Ontarians in accessing healthcare services and affordable housing. The roundtable provided an opportunity for local media representatives to engage directly with Ontario NDP leadership and discuss issues affecting communities throughout Scarborough and Ontario.
Miss Abdur Sikandar. I am the president in Bangla Kagoj. Very popular newspaper.
Yes.
Canada down for definitely. My first question is a little bit here in the back. Which team you are supporting on the FIFA World Cup?
Oh boy. Well, okay. To be divisive. But of course, I'm supporting Canada first.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, second.
Okay, second, I have to say, I represent a community, my riding, which is also in Toronto, and which is in Toronto downtown, has the largest percentage of Portuguese people in the country. So if I don't support Portugal next, I'm not getting reelected.
Go for the best.
Okay, guys, how long do you have? Because I've got backup plan after backup plan after backup plan. So, of course, Canada first. Now, my dad is from Egypt, so I'm rooting for Egypt second. And then I have backup plan. I was also hoping for Iraq. I feel that the Iraq team, so I always love the underdogs, right? Whenever they make it, I love it. I know that a lot of my Bangladeshi friends, they love Brazil or Argentina, and I recently learned about a history of how that came about. I think that's beautiful, but I really love the underdog teams. And so I was rooting for Iraq because they're in like an underdog in a very strong group. So I'm hoping for them to get out, but there's so many good teams. Yeah.
All right, and we are very sorry not to get Justin Trudeau, former Prime Minister, in the Canada first match. We were expected a lot.
Yes,
exactly. Sure. Well, now come to the point.
Okay.
The question is, since long we are hearing the hope from all politicians, all the political parties, they are giving hope. You mentioned that there is a dementia issue or someone is waiting in the emergency since long, or something insurance issue, sometimes like gas prices.
Yes.
What are your best strategy you are going to follow up or you're going to execute to overcome this situation? Like everyone give hopes. Okay, I will do it. I will reduce the food price. How? Because in this crucial world is now hot, right? Everyone is war, this and that. So what is your Aladdin's policy or any genie policy that you're gonna make us happy?
Yeah, I think I would just say, first of all, that I think I hear it because a lot of politicians always like to say, I'm bringing hope back. And I do think that there's the reason politicians talk like that is because they can see that a lot of people don't have hope anymore. They've kind of given up. And I look at, for example, healthcare workers. I meet with a lot of healthcare workers, nurses, technicians, doctors, who will say they are exhausted, they are overworked, and they don't have the time, the resources, the support from government to do the job they are trained to do. And they are burning out and they are leaving our healthcare system. So when I hear that, I know I want to bring them hope. Hope only comes with political will. You have to want to actually change things. And what I don't hear from the Conservatives or the Liberals are actual solutions. So, they talk a lot about actually investing in healthcare, but when you look at investment right now, it is not keeping up with need. So our hospitals are in a deficit position, many of them. We are burning out our healthcare workers because the government will simply not provide enough investment to hire people at the rate we need to do. And then I would say, and Fatima said this too, it can't only be about healthcare in hospitals. It needs to be about healthcare in communities. It needs to be about keeping our children healthy by providing them with the supports they need in school. These are really important. And so I think that's why. But I will say this, what is different about ours? On groceries. We didn't just talk about reducing groceries. The other parties say, oh, there's nothing you can do. That's just the reality. It's the war. Look, there are things we can do. And that's why we brought forward a motion to take the tax off of all groceries. The Conservatives refused to support that. They voted against it. Right now, today, if they had voted in favor of it, we would have no tax on groceries. Mm-hmm. It's not a small thing. When you're talking about trying to make ends meet, it's not a small thing. So that's one thing that we could do right now. We also need to look at some of the other ways that prices are going up, reasons they're going up. And that's why we've also talked about predatory pricing, or sometimes they call it surveillance pricing. These big corporate grocery giants are using technology to determine what people can afford to pay, what they think people can afford to pay, and changing the prices accordingly.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, so this is the one scenario. I really appreciate it. But want to say something?
I just want to add, Marit, if I may, it really just comes down to priorities. Because I think in a province as wealthy as Ontario, it's not about do we have the money, but what we're spending it on. Yeah. Right now, we see Doug Ford. I mean, did we forget about a whole Greenbelt scandal or freedom of information where he's trying to hide his phone records, or that he's trying to expand the Billy Bishop Airport? And I can tell you, I canvassed this riding multiple times, and nobody, even Conservatives, think it's a good idea. Nobody wants this, yet he's pushing it through. And I think don't quote me on this, but I think it will cost about $5 billion, the expansion.
That's what they said.
And, it's about his priorities are wrong. The priorities should be investing in healthcare and education. And that is the reason why I joined the NDP, because I believe this is the party that has the priorities straight. And it's, for one, we are hoping to be a government that is open, honest, and accountable to the people of Ontario.
Okay. Yeah. So, because you were mentioning the healthcare sector, okay, I'm coming to the point. So, in a sense, like the doctors and the nurses are exhausted, you were told, right? Yes. But on the other hand, like what the students are taking OSAP and doing the PSW, and then what other courses, they are not getting job. Why?
Can I just supplement with this? Because I'm hearing a lot from the parents of the young adults, those who have recently graduated and not getting any job.
Yes.
And it is not only that. They are saying that our kids studying here, born and raised here, but government is bringing, the workers from outside. So how does these two things we need to address this? Because young adults who were raised and born and studied here, they are not getting job, but we need huge, workers, and we are trying to bring them from outside Canada.
Yeah, we have a government, and I would say at all levels, that has failed to come up with a policy on workers, on immigration that actually meets the needs of today. And I would say seems to just kind of bounce back and forward to one extreme or another, instead of actually looking at what our needs are here in this moment. And we do have a growing need. We have a growing population. We have a growing need, particularly in areas like healthcare. I would say that when it comes to young people, for example you did, not being able to find jobs, we know that Ontario has the highest youth unemployment rate in the country.
Yes.
This is a fact. Yeah. And to me, this is on government to work with industry and all sectors to create opportunity. So healthcare is a good example. If we are underfunding healthcare, then we are not providing enough investment to actually hire the people the healthcare system needs. Likewise with education. I'm going around the province right now and I'm finding educational assistants who work with children with disabilities, and they can't find work. And when they do, they burn out because they're just so overwhelmed. We need to invest. We need to hire more people. The need is greater than what they're providing. So it actually is a role for government, particularly in those public sectors. But also, I mean, this is a government that talks about being business friendly. But the truth is that when you out there and you talk to business, you talk to industries like I do, mining, forestry, the auto sector, everywhere I go, they're saying the government isn't coming to us and asking us what we need. They're not working with us to make sure that we are graduating people with the skills that they need for the sectors that they're in. And the cuts to OSAP are going to be devastating because actually we need young people who have skills and training and undergraduate or graduate degrees. And I think that what's happened with this government, again, as Fatima said, is they're making bad choices. It's not that there isn't money there. It's that they're choosing to give money to projects that are just vanity projects for the premier of this province. $5 billion to expand an airport when we are already expanding Pearson Airport. When we invested billions to build the Up Express to get people here, there is no excuse for that. And there's nobody that I've met who's a person in this city who actually wants to see that. So that, the tunnel under the 401, what's another good example? My gosh, I've been so, they're continuing to make deals in back rooms that benefit Doug Ford and his friends and his buddies, but they aren't spending the money where it will have the biggest impact. And by the way, we also, I want an extra amount of hit. We did actually propose to the government in the spring if they introduce a youth summer employment program. The federal government has a program, Canada Summer Jobs. We've been working with organizations in communities who desperately want to hire young people and don't have the funding. The provincial government could solve that problem right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.